basically about 4 women who are trying to make their way in the Beverly Hills world, and they all work in the service industry in some form or another. It's funny because they actually hold all the power and know all the secrets. I think Marisol fits in because, well, she's a mother and I think the other women can relate, but also she met them as a maid, and that's sort of how they formed their friendship, and that's how everything was forged. And they became so close also because they went through such a traumatic first season together and such a big event that really brought them all close to each other and made them all trust one another. I say this every season, but I really think this season is the most fun. Last season was really sexy and crazy, and this season I think it's funnier, it's fun. There's obviously a murder mystery. One of the main characters is getting it's just like a novela to a T, but just like American style. You know, I think Marisol has really grown because she's learning how to trust herself. I think it's hard as a woman sometimes. You're constantly second-guessing yourself, especially being Latina and working in the service industry. I think you're told where your place is and what you're supposed to do. And so for Marisol to really break out of that has been empowering, and she's really been able to blossom. And I think the other maids are following in step with that. Here's this, you know, seemingly sweet Beverly Hills person, and she's vicious. But you know, Marisol can give as good as she gets. So I think once she realized that Genevieve wasn't backing down, then the claws came out. And it gets fun. I grew up, my grandmother worked in cleaning houses, and my grandparents worked in the service industry as a career bartender and cocktail waitress. So I've always been raised to be polite and kind and to know how hard they're busting their butts to get the job done. I hope it makes people who are watching a little bit more conscious of what they do and how they react to people, but I personally am very kind. Honestly, when it comes down to it, the show is a novela, and it's a guilty pleasure, and it's campy, and it's fun, and I think that's what people tune in for. It's a Marc Cherry show. He did Desperate Housewives, you know. So I don't think we ever pretended to have a sort of like realistic take on what it's like to be a maid in Beverly Hills, because that's just not what this show is about. So for me, I think it really adds just a sense of fun, and it's funny. I mean, I love getting tweets from fans who are like, really, you're dusting in high heels? And I'm like, that's right, and a push-up bra. But to me, I think that really adds to the charm of the show. I think that's part of the fun, is you want to see what they're wearing while they're like, you know, vacuuming.